We always clapping, man. We always start the podcast with clapping. I find it so funny. Anyway,
I wonder if there's any other YouTubers who decide like a different variation of the clap. I used to be like popping noises and stuff. That used to work out pretty good. I never did that because then I'd have to like really refine it into those little noises.
Imagine trying to like set up the audio file to just your tongue moving, right?
You have to slow-mo it like... Just going in now.
Anyway, guys, welcome to episode 4. We're going to use that as an intro. Fuck it.
we did a clapping intro in the first one, was it?
We've done one in every single one.
First one.
I've put
it
in
every single one.
Yeah, I've put it in every time. It's just like a weird thing that we do now. So
we'll have to remember that.
This is a little bit delayed podcast from the last one. We've been pretty busy this week, guys. I've had a lot of birthdays with my own partner and my brothers.
You've been going all out.
I've been so busy, man. I grew an extra head, as you guys can see throughout the videos. You guys watching the visual side of it on YouTube. I am growing a massive fucking pimple on my head. Yeah, I'm 27, and I still haven't hit puberty yet, so we're getting there.
I thought it's probably because you're tall and you smash your head on something, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's probably what's happened.
Probably sleepwalking. I couldn't imagine sleepwalkers, man. That's another thing.
I'm a sleepwalker. Sleepwalker.
Actually?
Yeah.
Fuck. I couldn't think of anything worse, man. Waking up and being not in my bed. Like where you fell asleep, waking up like in the lounge. You're like, how the fucking hell did I get here? That would scare me.
I prefer not waking up in my bed. I prefer not waking up in my own bed. That's a much better result than just waking up in my own bed every night. That's shit.
It's always a surprise when you wake up. Like, where are going to end up this time? Like over your neighbor's back fence or something, just standing in his back porch, staring in his window. Like I
swear I slept walk with you. Well, not with you personally, but I slept walked whilst I was down in your little den over there.
Did you? Did you live here?
Yeah, I swear. I must have at some point. But I did spend. That is something actually. I did spend the first couple of weeks blocking the lower side of your like back door there because it has like a ½ inch gap. And things over there are ½ inch big, you know.
Insects and stuff. Yeah, I remember when you came up, and when you came over here, you're like, there was like a gap. I don't know how you'd say it. It would be like I don't know, like
about ½ inch.
Yeah,
it was pretty. It's small, but it's big enough.
It's a solid it's a solid gap between a door. Not like a normal size gap between doors. Like probably like double the size. Anyways, yeah, you were putting a tower there to like stop anything coming in, but I don't think that would actually stop anything coming in if it really wanted to come in, but. Yeah.
That's a weird thing you guys do, though. There's nothing we do over here. Even Americans find it weird that we don't have those, like, grated things over our windows and stuff. Because, like, I remember...
grated? You mean fly screens?
Yeah. Yeah, basically that. Yeah, mate, that's not for flies. That's not a fly screen if it's stab-proof. That's not what a fly screen is.
It's called Crim Safe. Nah, it's like a thing here in Australia where like Crim Safe is like a version of a fly screen that's like it's like super high quality shit like mesh. You can't kick it in. You can't break it. You can yeah. It'll stop trucking traffic. It'll do anything. You know, you drive through it. It'll tear your car in half. Like it'll just peel you into like mincemeat. But yeah, it's
and you use that for insects.
Yeah.
That was like the creepiest thing. When I woke up in the morning, I'd open the blind thing and there'd be a fucking bug just like. Bruh. Looking at
everything loves light here in Australia, man. You have a light on outside, bro. Boom. You've got your own fucking zoo of bugs, man. It's fucked. It's crazy.
That's it.
But yeah, back to the sleepwalking thing for a second. Yeah, fuck. Honestly, I could not imagine waking up, like standing up. Like, you know, you walk somewhere and you've woken up and you're standing up. Like that to me would just be so bizarre concept. But people do that. Like, obviously, in like Step Brothers, the movie, he like sleepwalks and shoves like pillow in the oven and shit. But like, I would be interested to see people in the comments, like, if they do sleepwalk, what they've done while they've sleepwalked. I know people like piss on shit. Like, people have like, you know, stolen shit.
Bastards.
Yeah, well, you know, like piss. It's like super. It's such a super weird concept to think that your brain can function while you're not actually functioning. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like where you're
I remember the first time I noticed I sleepwalk. So we went on holiday to this place called Blackpool. It's pretty run down, but it's kind of like a place you'd standard go in England. Went to Blackpool, and I remember I was probably like 10, probably about like 10 to 13. And I remember waking up, and I was on the outside of like our hotel room, just in me boxes, just like, how am I here? like super odd. But the whole thing of like sleepwalking and stuff is like you almost remember doing it. You know, like I fucked around my sleep too much. I lucid dream. I have paralyzing sleep moments. I sleepwalk. I sleep talk. It's nutty.
I talk in my sleep. I talk in my sleep. I mean, most people probably do, but I could not imagine, like sleepwalking or like people try to have lucid dreams. People actually try to have them. Like people like, I want to have a lucid dream. I want to see what it feels like. Have you actually tried?
Yeah, I've tried. I've done it twice. And then it fucked me up and gave me demon dreams and sleep paralysis. So I really did not.
What's the prep? Okay, is it a bad preparation to try and do that? Like, I don't know.
So like the way lucid dreams work is you can do it through certain ways. Some people do like dream training. So in their dreams, they try and remember certain things and they jot them down. So that when you have that dream again, your brain goes, hey, I'm in a dream. Like, I remember this moment, you know? But what I did was I would fall asleep listening to a certain hertz music. And then, like, I would try and imagine I'm dreaming a certain thing. Like, as I'm lying there, I would be like, right, this is going to happen in my dream. And I'd try and make it happen. And in turn, I've had the worst nightmares since. I have no idea why.
The dreams that I have regularly is if I'm being held down, I can't scream. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Or being chased.
That's sleep paralysis.
Where I can't scream. Or where I fall off something and then right before you hit the ground, you wake up in like a fucking...
I love those dreams.
You like wake up in a fit. Or you realize that it's a dream and then you give yourself superpowers.
Have you ever like...
I've done
the
that.
lucid dream part.
I've done that, yeah. So I've done that. Where like, I know I'm in a dream now. I'm going to start flying. And I have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing that. I've like thought of some other things in there, but flying is always really good as well. What was that one you said just before that one? What's the flying one? No, the falling one.
Falling one,
Have you ever stayed to the end of a falling dream? I guarantee you, if you ever do, it's the best feeling in the world. Because I had a falling dream that I was falling down a cliff, and I stayed with it, and you felt yourself fall, and then you come back up, and it's amazing. It's one of the weirdest feelings.
I feel like you'd wake up with like pins and needles and like a weird like shiver in your body from like just the fact of your body thinking you're falling to then like coming back up. Like that, that motivation of like going down and up would like send like a weird feeling through your body. Does it?
No, like, I think the only way I can describe it is when you go really fast up over a hill on a car and you come back down the other side very rapidly. That's what I mean. Like that's what I'm trying to say. It's like a weird sensation of like like being whipped back and forth, like almost like a bungee cord in a way, like coming down and then slowly going back up. Like that's weird. That is weird. I remember the weirdest time of my sleepwalking was I had an ex and she stayed around, and this was probably like the second time I'd actually like had my ex stay over. And basically we were like,
so after you guys are separated, you have your ex stay over. Is that what you're saying?
This was we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay.
But obviously she's an ex now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I basically were like sleeping and stuff, and I remember very clearly because in my head, like I woke up and I was still in the dream. It's super odd. Yeah. But I woke up and I grabbed all of the quilt off her and stuff, and she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was just like, "Shh, I'm an omelette." And like we never stayed together since. Like I thought the omelette dream was probably what pushed it over the edge. She was like, "This guy is fucking nuts. I'm not staying with this guy at all."
I'm a burrito.
But you can do some fuck shit.
Oh fuck.
I used to do all kinds of stuff. I used to move things around the room. I used to take things. My dad sleepwalked as well. My dad went down the stairs. Yeah, he loved it. Banging down there.
My dad is like an insane teeth grinder.
Oh, that's got to be bad for you.
And
his teeth fucks me up.
Oh, yeah, his teeth are pretty fucked up. But I don't think it's from the teeth grinding though. Like where he grinds his teeth, the teeth are actually perfectly fine. And I'm like, how can you grind your teeth so fucking loud? That's the point where you can hear it down hallways and shit. But like, it doesn't do damage. Like I don't think you can even make it that loud even if it's awake. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, at what point can you like subconsciously make your teeth grind that fucking loud and like not wake up with like shredded mouth or like,
I'd sleep with a gum shield in. I'd put a gum shield in. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd buy dental care. I'd be like, I would do everything I could to protect my teeth. I mean, I'm British, so my teeth are bound to fall out in the next couple of years anyways, but I'd do my best. But I'd do it with a gum shield in. I'd just be like, do whatever, get a mouth brace. Like, I'd look like a fucking horse or something like that. Lying in bed.
I have a big nose,
That'd be
so I
so
get the
horrid.
fucking snoring and shit going on, but I,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you must suck the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah. I give my partner lucid dreams and just be out like choking, can't breathe and shit. And
But she has lucid dreams because of like she's having lucid dreams because she can't get any oxygen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
she's like
Real
carbon monoxide
bizarre.
poisoning going on.
wakes up like half paralyzed, reaching for breath.
Snorkel out the window. Fuck. What a roast.
Oh god. Anyway, let's talk about what you got up to this week, because you've been pretty busy as well. Like, I had obviously the birthday parties and stuff. I had a lot of parties going on this week in preparation for the parties, because they're people that are very close to me, so I had to prepare for gifts and all kinds of stuff. But you were doing something else. You were preparing for
my
new.
week's been probably the most productive in ages. To be honest, I've literally just been like trying to be super productive recently, because like I always have these moments where I'm super like motivated. Like I'm a really motivated person anyways. Like I always want to be doing stuff, always want to be productive. You know, if nothing's happening, something's happening, you know? Like if videos aren't being produced, something's happening. So this week's been like, I recorded the latest video, you know, and that went really well, and I love that, and that's coming out tomorrow. So that'll be on the Monday, so you guys will see this Monday as well.
Probably the same day.
So we're going to
double
upload.
Yeah,
double upload, boys.
Woo! It's a good day.
Not good. It's not good to double upload. I'll be pushed now. People will be like, oh, where's the double uploads from now on? You're going to do this every single week. But no, we smashed that, and that was good. You know, we made some good content. Got a few things said that we can't put in the video, but all good. Yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's like goes back to what I really want to try and do with these videos. And the other thing as well is I've been looking at trying to make merchandise. But the worst thing, and I think everyone probably can relate to this in some way, there will never be a perfect piece that I can create. So I am literally in limbo until I basically say yes and just accept an idea. Because no matter what I do, it's never going to be perfect enough. But I've been putting lots of effort into it. I've been working on Photoshop. I've been doing lots of things like behind the scenes. I found certain people who can deliver good products and trying to find people who can deliver good graphics. So everything I do has to be to a high quality. Yeah. You know, I made that decision a while ago, and especially with YouTube, like it just shows. You know, 2 years ago I made that decision, started up in the performance and the quality of stuff, and it shows, man. People love that. You know, you got to do that.
100%. I think, you know, I would rather pay more money on high quality stuff than just buying cheaper stuff just to support someone. Do you know what I mean? Because as much as you want to support creators and stuff, it's good. But if you can have a shirt that's fucking going to last you a while, and it's a decent shirt or a decent hoodie, you're going to wear that all the time. And
there is a lot of shit YouTuber merch out there.
Oh, there's fucking
heaps,
a lot.
man.
I've bought stuff.
Lots.
I've bought stuff close to almost $100, like a hoodie. $100 Australian dollars for one hoodie, which is fucking outrageous anywhere. But I bought it just to support the creator, right? Which I'm fine with, you know. And I was like, oh look, it's most likely, you know, being promoted as high quality shit. And look, I'm probably gonna wear it heaps, you know. It's probably a decent hoodie, and I'll probably be my best fucking hoodie because it's my most expensive one. Turned out to be by far one of the shittest hoodies I've ever owned. The prints were like half faded. It was like just wasn't comfortable. The hoodie itself wasn't bad, but the printing was shit. You know, and the stuff that gets embroidered is shit. Like, you need to find, you know...
You need to find someone who distributes good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
I don't think...
We were talking about this all week. We were talking about, you know, we both agreed that, you know, if you're going to bring something out, it needs to be the best shit. And I think anyone won't really give a shit about the price as long as they know that they're getting quality stuff, you know?
Yeah. Exactly that. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers, and they don't mean it, but YouTubers get roped into the worst stuff sometimes. It's like, I'll be honest, like the people that I've worked with that I don't like the quality of was like Teesprings. I think every YouTuber has done a Teesprings kind of merchandise giveaway. And I think the only thing I'd recommend is don't do it, because I remember the first time I launched products through Teesprings, and not to mention it's awfully, awfully bad to try and set prices to an exact figure on there. It is... The quality just is literally not great, you know? Yeah. And, like, you're trying to sell a hoodie. Like, a lot of YouTubers' merchandise, a lot of people say it's expensive and stuff, but in all honesty, you're supporting the creator. You're not buying the merch for good merch, but as a YouTuber or content creator, whatever, you want to produce something good. You know, you want to produce something that people can enjoy and wear for a long, long time. So that's what I've been doing. I've been hunting down specific people, and I think I've come across them, which is... great.
I'm fucking excited for it, man. Like you were saying before as well about the art, like the graphic designs and stuff and how you want it done. Like this is going to be something you're just going to, make up in a week and then upload it and just hope everyone buys the thing. Like you're going down a path of like essentially its own brand.
I want it to be good.
Essentially down the route of its own brand, not just like a creator, creators merch. You're trying to create something that's more than just merch. It's going to be its own brand.
I want someone to be able to wear this whenever and just say like, oh, this is comfy. Like this is comfy. This is good. This is worth it. I don't want people to be buying it and then being like, oh, it faded out, because then I'm kind of like, I want to be like, oh, well, it's not my fault. But most people will kind of say, oh, it's the creator's fault in a way, not the actual people they're doing it through. So, I've taken time on it. I think everyone should kind of take time to do it. I think it links in very well with my perfectionism, where I want it to be really high-end quality. So, yeah, I'm excited with that. But this week has been super productive. Been emailing a lot, been trying to do lots of things. I've hit the gym 5 times this week, which is ramped up.
I can tell by those shoulders of yours, bro.
Getting the gains on, and getting the bold bloody protein spots though, which is rank. Steroid spots. But yeah, I know what you mean, bro. Yeah, yours is. How am I looking more tan than you right now?
That pre-workout get me real good. Get me straight in the forehead.
I think that's the main thing is every content creator. Like I meet a lot of people and they say, oh, you don't fit the style of a content creator. You want to be doing sports, you want to be active and stuff. And I'm thinking like, that's what YouTubers need to be. YouTubers get very much sucked into this realm of like they need to produce content all the time, and then their mental health depreciates, and then they produce more content to improve their mental health. Yeah. And then it depreciates. I mean, you need those breaks, man. Like I get people messaging me being like, oh, you take long between videos, and I'm like, bro, like you have no idea what the fuck I'm doing in the meantime. Like, inside I'll make a video that's really, really fun, and then I'll be like trying to find ways to off myself in the meantime. Just
one of the things you said earlier in the podcast as well is like, even though we may not physically or visually see us making content, we are always doing something. Like,
always. Like
we're always
ideas.
Like Oblivion and I talk so much off podcasts. We talk every day about ideas, future stuff that we want to do together. Stuff he's doing on his channel, and I talk to him about stuff I'm doing on my channel, and we just give tips and stuff about what we think about the ideas. And there's a lot of things that we do behind the scenes. Like I launched my own business in the creator scene,
which is sick, and
which is awesome. Yeah, which is awesome. And I get to be really close to other creators and help bring them sponsors and stuff, which was really cool. Which I'm fucking awesome with, helping to, provide and search for sponsors to help content creators sustain, their income and stuff like that. So it's good, and I find that really, really fun to be able to help out mates like that.
And you're a great person for it as well. When I was thinking up the idea, I've mentioned it to people beforehand, but like when it comes across to you, I'm like, this is you. This is your shit. Obviously, like it's a new venture for you, but I'm like, holy shit, if there's a man who's gonna like smash it, it's this dude here. Or me, but I ain't got the time, so I'm like, I'll pass it to the next one.
So yeah, along with my own business going on and my own YouTube stuff, everyone's been asking me, you should go back to streaming and stuff. It's like, streaming for me is gone. Well, pretty much gone. I don't stream anymore.
I know you love streaming, man. It's it's a passion for you. You're an entertainer. You are an entertainer.
Yeah, I love making content. I love entertaining people. I love helping people. I love all that kind of stuff. But I just don't think right now is my time to return back to Twitch. I think I've still got a lot of things in development right now behind the scenes that I really wanted to work on and progress. And obviously a lot of stuff that we're doing as well has really got me hyped for motivated to do future stuff as well with YouTube. So yeah, right now I think for me is just like working on my own business, working on the YouTube side of things, the podcast and shit, helping you, with the merch and stuff. I think it's just fun, being able to do stuff with you. I was saying this to you before. It's just fun being surrounded by people that are like-minded and who are practically entrepreneurs, which I believe, as much as people say that's very a corny thing to say, calling yourself an entrepreneur, but I think
it's not corny, bro. It's the way you need to be.
Honestly,
it's people who work like a normal 9-to-5 job. I mean, we need them, and I appreciate people that do it. But at the same time, that's not the way it's going to be. The way I see it is we're going to be working less in the future because we're going to have more things doing stuff for us. Therefore, income will probably be higher.
Yeah.
I always see that like the working days will become shorter because there's gonna be less things for people to do, you know. But you've got to be an entrepreneur nowadays because the opportunity's there. If you're smart enough, you can make things happen. Like I got things going on in the background, not just YouTube and stuff. Same with yourself, same with other people listening. Like you got to make it happen. You know, you can't just hang around and be like, oh, you know, I'll work a standard job because why? There's so many opportunities out there. I always say it to people like, now's your best time to be a millionaire. And people are kind of like, oh, well, why aren't you a millionaire then? It's like, bro, I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm making it happen, you know? And that's just how it is. Like, we made the YouTube channel and that created something big, you know? I had my own physio business. That was good. You know, I've always got ideas, man. You've got to give yourself that time. You know, there's so many people who are busy chucking stuff away and you're just kind of like, bro, like, you can do this shit. Just do it.
I feel like people get stuck in a rut, the 9-to-5 job, where they think that, like, if I leave, you know, the idea, what happens if the idea fails and I have to come back? It's like, that's okay. Fuck.
That's totally fine.
That is totally fine. Like, there's been so many ideas that I've had over the last 10 years. I was once a DJ. I studied audio engineering. I left DJing, wanted to do podcasting, did podcasting, was a vlogger at like conventions with like anime, like cosplaying and stuff. Got past that. There's so many ideas that I've done, like shoutcasting. I was a commentator. You know, I've done that as well. Done panels. Done a whole bunch of stuff over the years. Like they were fun and experienced stuff, and it made me who I am today. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stick there and continue doing that 9-to-5.
There's too much fear.
You learn to adapt, and you want to continually push yourself to achieve, because there's going to be one day where you create an idea, like I said to you before, you'll make a million ideas and they will all not work. But there's going to be that one time where one idea works and it clicks with you going, this is what I want to fucking do. You know, this is what I want to do for the next 5-10 years. And then it just works. And then you just flow with it and it makes you happy. You know, what we do every day, as much as you get stressed out with videos and all that kind of stuff, once the video is done and uploaded, it's like a sigh of relief and you just forget how hard it was to upload that video. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, you want that end creation feel. Like, I always feel like you've got to be pushing towards it. There's such a fear factor. And this is the thing, yeah. I removed 2 years ago before, like, you know, I really got into the push with my channel and, you know, started making good numbers and making subscribers and stuff. Like, I got rid of a lot of negative people. I moved out of negative mindsets. I stopped reading certain things. I turned off the news. And I just went, you know what? I'm going to listen to people who do it and want it. You know, I want to listen to positive people. I want to listen to someone who's not going to tell me, oh, what if it fails? Like, that was my dad. You know, I love my dad, but, you know, he comes at me when I said to him, you know, I wanted to get a certain car. I wanted an upgrade. I wanted to get off these shit cars we used to get for like 500 quid or something.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to finance one. That's like $5,000. And he would always be like, well, what if it goes wrong? And I was like, well, Dad, what if it doesn't? You know, what if this doesn't fail? What if it goes well and does everything I want it to do? And from then, it just made my life so much better, because every single time I've had an idea, I can go, what if it fails, you know? But what if it doesn't? Why would I look towards the negative? Why would I don't back an idea if I think that. You know, if I start to think, oh, what if it doesn't go well? Yeah. I'm always thinking, what's the positive outcome of this? Because if you go in there with a positive mindset, you're more than likely going to do well. And even if you fail, you're going to take something from it. You gotta fail. You know, not everyone's gonna be banging stuff. I've had so many jobs, fired from jobs. That's hilarious, to be fair, but you know, you know, I've had so many experiences, but every single time I've just kind of gone, fuck it, I'll do something else. You know, I've never kept myself in a situation. YouTube's been my longest job, and that's been like 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to give yourself that time. People have such, and I you know, I understand people that get scared. Yeah. But you got to try it. You have an opportunity, and no matter how small it is, you've got an opportunity. Try it, you know, get it going. That's what it is. Like with YouTube, I have so many people that are like, oh, how did you get views and how did you get subs and how did you get this? And it's just like, bro, that was never the intention. I just wanted to make videos, you know? Yeah. Like that's a different route. You can't just be like, oh, I'm setting up a gym and then just like not expect someone to turn up, because you need that. When you make videos and stuff, like you're just like, yeah, I just want to make videos, and then it will progress. Your passion will come from that. Yeah. You know, that's why my videos come out every 2 weeks, because I'm like, right, I ain't released shit. I ain't releasing bad content. I don't want my mates to release bad content. If I see my mate releasing bad content, I'll be fuming inside. You know, I won't tell them, but I've seen bad stuff out there.
I think that's just what people force, and I think that's the mindset of people having to think they have to upload.
Yeah.
We spoke about that in the last podcast or a couple of podcasts back now, that people who have the mindset of like, I have to upload, I have to do this. You don't have to do anything. You know, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to fucking do it. It's your life, you know. If your content, like, yeah, you want to obviously impress your fans, but if you're uploading shit content, you're not impressing your fans. Like, that's just how it is.
You got to upload. You got to upload stuff that you love. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
I hate the whole mindset when people are like, dying channel. I hate that word because it's not dying. No channel is ever dying. It used that as a reflection on whatever you're producing. You know, if you're producing shit and you think you've produced shit, it might reflect it. Yep. I've produced shit before and it's done really well, which I don't fucking understand, but there we go. You know, but like at the end of it, if I see my numbers going down, I go, right, what am I going to change? What's my go-to? You know, what can I do to improve this? And there's nothing wrong with going down because it's a roller coaster. You gotta go down. You can't just be on the way up.
You gotta back yourself. Anyone. You gotta back yourself.
Have to.
I know this may sound really fucking, again, corny, but one of the things I grew up with, and I was like, I'm destined for something, right? I know
I felt that.
I'm destined for something bigger than what I'm at now. I know that, and I won't hit that peak or find to the point where I go, this is who I am. This is what I've worked my fucking ass off to get to. Like, I won't get to that point unless I've tried a million ideas. I don't think I'll ever get there. I was saying this to you before, like, I don't even think we start earning, you know, 5,000 a week, 10,000 a week, or, you know, we've built a business that's successful and we don't have to work a day in our life anymore, that I still think I'll be making new things, new ideas. Like, look at Elon Musk, for instance, right? The guy's a fucking billionaire, you know, and yet he's still out there creating things, trying to fucking make the new thing. Why? Because he fucking loves it, you know, because he just found that thing that he just fucking loves. No money in the world will, I don't think any money in the world will truly give you the happiness of like an entrepreneur, someone who loves to create things, someone who goes out and seeks it and just wants it, you know, and then you won't ever worry about the money again.
We're not seeking money. Let's be honest. No. Money's a comforter, and money is a side effect of how successful you are. You know, we're not there being like, oh, I want all this money so I can go and buy an R8. You know, we're like, hey, like, are we making money? Hell yeah. Right. What can we do now? You know, that's why we did this podcast. Yeah. Like, we're not here to make money out of the podcast. We're here literally because, like, this is something we want to try. We want to do something. We want to make something work. We want to make something successful. Exactly. You know, and that's why we're doing it, because we're just like, we believe we can. And even if like it doesn't pay off, to me, it's already successful. Yeah. You know, in my eyes, we've managed to make it to stage 4, organized in some way. You know,
we've done pretty well. We came into this thinking, like, we talk on a daily basis about a whole bunch of shit all the time, and we decided to make it into a podcast. And when we had the idea of turning it into a podcast, it was like, what are we going to talk about? Should we structure it? Should we do this? Should we do that? Like, trying to make it a professional podcast. And we both came to like the realization is like, we don't have to do that. We could just sit there and just chat. There's going to be an audience for anything that we do. I'm sure that people might find, and it has. People have responded on Twitter. People respond on these videos, how much they like it, how chilled it is, how relaxing it is. Because at the end of the day, we're not a structured podcast. We don't have structured things. We just get on here and talk about life. Really, what's going on with us, and that's it. That's what we wanted to do. Like, it's probably cost us more money to make this podcast than what has earned us, and it probably will ever earn us. But that was, you know, we're okay to spend money on ideas because, you know, eventually some ideas might make money, and not all ideas will make money. But still, at the end of the day, we made the idea because we wanted it to be fun.
And no matter what you do, to be honest, like, if we put money into this, and if anything, you're almost paying for your own experience, you know? Yeah. It's like, I'm paying for this right now. Like, okay, we're putting money into the podcast. Like, we ain't getting money back, but we're getting stuff back from it. You know, we're getting, like, we're learning shit and stuff. Like, we're going through this. And I think, like, that's a huge part of this. But going back to it, we do try and organize it. We have a little down under Discord where we jot a little few things in there, you know. But you know, that's only just we need to reflect back. But most of the time, I feel like we could chat for hours because we've done that before. You know, I've been up till 3 a.m. with you beforehand. You know, just chatting and stuff.
Hours.
Yeah, but I want to talk about your stuff because you did a big boy thing this week, and it was actually really, really, really impressive and really wholesome to see because not many people do it, but you as a person, it properly defines who you are.
Yeah.
You know.
For those who are listening and don't know, I went through a really tough period of my life a while back. I went for like a whole, probably about 5 years of my life. I made a mistake when I was young that I dealt with for years. During that process, my younger brothers, so my youngest brother's turned 18, by the way, this weekend, actually 2 days ago. So my brother's finally turned 18. I'm not sure if you guys celebrate 18th as big as we do here in Australia, but 18th is like that milestone where you can start drinking. You know, like the 21st birthday.
No, you normally get beer and orgies.
Yeah, pretty much. Strippers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, multiple.
So they turned 18. I have twin younger brothers. I myself is a twin, so we have 2 sets of twins in my family, which is quite unique. And so my younger brothers turned 18. They're the youngest one out of 6 of us. So there's 2 girls in between me and my younger brothers. So there's 6 in total. And they're both singles. They're not twins at all. So anyway, my brothers turned 18, the youngest one of all, and it's been a pretty shit year. Yeah, we've all agreed that coronavirus and stuff has really affected everyone this year, and all that kind of stuff. And we couldn't throw a big party. We couldn't take them out to a nightclub because you can't even dance in nightclubs in Australia right now. It's been super fucking shit.
I saw the fine for it. The fine was like $6,000.
You can't dance. You literally cannot.
This from an internal source. Got this from an internal source. It was $6,000. The payment.
To what?
Look at you smiling, bro. You know the source.
I know who the source is. Yeah, I'm asking what the fine is. What the $6,000 for what? What's the fine?
So you can't dance in nightclubs in Brisbane. Otherwise, it's up to about $6,500 Australian dollars, which is like about $4.5 here.
It's dumb. It's so dumb. So you go to a nightclub and you have to sit. And you can't be within 1.5 meters of anyone that you're not there with. So you can't even like go and talk to someone you don't know really. It's like super awkward. Like security
super
are like
weird.
watching. It's fucking shit. So I knew that we couldn't take them out clubbing. We couldn't do that kind of stuff. So we actually took them out. My sisters paid for a private boat. So we got a private boat. We took them out on the water, got 20 of their mates together. We took them out on the water because we can have up to 20 people on a boat. We can actually have 20 people in a confined area. That was okay. That's within restrictions of coronavirus. So in Brisbane anyway, because Brisbane don't have as strict rules as most states do. So we took them out on a boat, which was really cool. And then when they came back for their birthday, we had a couple of drinks at my parents' house and I gave them my gift. Now, my gift was something that I've been planning to do for a very long time, because like I said before, it was something that they helped me through a really, really big period of my life. You know, they helped me through. They are the ones who got me into gaming. They motivated me to start making YouTube content. When I was making streaming and stuff, all their friends were talking about it. They were talking about it, and it motivated me to be there. In other words, their idol to their friends, and motivated me to continue what I love to do because I could see that it was having a positive impact on their life, and they helped me through a lot. So I decided that I would go out and buy 2 cars, one each for their birthday, because one of them just got their license the day before their birthday. The other one doesn't have their license yet, but they're going to get it sometime in the next couple of months. And I would surprise them, with cars. And
yeah,
I went out, got them a couple of days beforehand, the cars, literally identical cars. It was super weird that we managed to find literally identical cars, same year, make, model, and everything. One was automatic and one was manual, which is like perfect because one's going for the automatic, one's going for the manual license. So like literally it was like fucking perfect. Same price range, same amount of Ks. Like they're both really good cars. And I was like, fuck it. Like this happens to be like ideal situation right now. There's no way that this is like a coincidence. I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. There's going to be some time in my life that I'm going to look back and go, I did something pretty amazing. And I'll never forget that moment when I showed them it. I made it into a video. You've seen the video. And that to me was, I think I can, I'm not for visual, I'll show you, I'll bring it up.
We could put the tweet in the description. Like we can have that there
okay.
because it's a really good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing to go and see. Did you, when you were purchasing them, did you get worried like one of them might actually be a little bit more shit? Like.
So, yeah, it was.
Stains in the back seat. Kangaroo marks on the front bumper.
A couple of dents from hitting kangaroos and stuff. We went through the cars. When we got them, we went through them all. One's more luxurious. One's more built for speed. One's got leather seats and like more of a luxurious look. The other one's got like, the automatic one's got like nice silver paint with like proper like nice rims and stuff and does some speed, So it was they're two different makes. I didn't want them to like fight over or anything. So I was really like, I don't want one to feel like they got the shitter present out of the two and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I got thousands of dollars worth of cars, and I was like, I got to stop thinking like that. I had this like thing like they're gonna love it, And so my family helped me with the processes of getting it all done, getting the cars registered and everything, and presenting them that day after we had the boat party, and then presenting them with my gift once we got back. And all their friends were there. And then I blindfolded them. So inside a box was a blindfold. I blindfolded them.
Tied them up.
Yeah, handcuffed them with fluffy cuffs and stuff. Inside the box was a smaller box, and there was a blindfold on top. So I blindfolded them, and they had to reach into the box to find the smaller box. Inside that small box was their car key. They didn't know what it looked like or what the box looked like or anything. They couldn't see it. So they thought it was like a watch or something, like, oh, is it a watch? And then we're like, no, you have to stand up and walk outside. And then we took them outside, and then we put them right in front of their cars. So we had picked out which car was going to be theirs based on the manual and automatic. So we knew who was going to have what car, and so we knew what key to put in what box. We stood them in front of their cars. I stood in the middle of both cars, and I told them to take their blindfold off. It was a really emotional time, man. It was, they were super ecstatic. Obviously, all their friends are like cheering and stuff because obviously you don't every day see someone get 2 cars for their birthday.
the Aussie Mr. Beast.
Yeah, it was just I think for me,
it was a good moment.
It was as an older brother, man. It was a really big moment for me just to see that, and I think I'll look back on life and I'll never forget that moment. You know, it doesn't matter how much it cost me or whatever. I'll never forget that moment. And I think that'll live with me forever. And I think I needed it this year. I definitely needed that kind of feeling this year of like, I need to do something that's going to change or create something that's going to happen. And we were talking about before, like I always want to do something to help people or whatever. And my brother's been my biggest inspiration. And for me to be able to do that to them this year was honestly a dream come true.
Like that's a massive solid. That is a huge solid for someone. Cause that's like a huge financial burden they'd have to look at. And, for essentially the dent or whatever it's done into your kind of like account and stuff, it's probably massively just paid off for 2 people, who fully deserve, what you've provided, and you know that. And I think like, as much as like what you've done is amazing, you wouldn't expect anything in return because you're just like, look, I want this to be a thing, I want you guys to enjoy this because, that helps massively.
I wanted them to stress left. I wanted them not to think about it. They're like, oh, how much are they? And I was like, it doesn't matter. How much are you paying it off? What are you doing? They'll ask me all these questions. I said, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're yours, 100% yours.
Petrol, diesel, doesn't matter. Just chuck whatever you want in it. No,
don't do that. One is actually diesel, one is actually petrol. I said, whatever you do, don't swap cars for a day. Because you got to fuck them both. So I was honestly
fuming.
I was so fucking pissed off. But I was like, I just said to him, like, look, it doesn't matter what it is. At the end of the day, this is my gift to you. And that's what I really wanted to do. And I wanted you guys to turn 18, get yourself, go enjoy life without having to worry about that early financial hardship of like, having to pay back a car, a couple $1,000, whatever it is. It's completely yours. 100%. It's yours. And you don't have to stress about it now. It's all registered. You just got to worry about fuel and insurance and shit. But that's less than having to worry about a loan repayment and stuff like that as well. So it was a fucking really cool thing. And obviously all their mates, they started, my brothers did start crying. One of them did start crying and, and that was a really good moment for me. Like as much as I didn't show that in the video, but obviously that's more of a personal thing between me and my brothers. But it was a really touching time. It was really awesome.
So I just remembered then, and I think this would be great because we haven't really discussed this before. Do you remember I remember the date because I remember it. Well, I don't remember the actual date, but I remember the time. Do you remember when we went and watched England versus South Africa in the rugby finals in that
Yes.
bar? Do you remember the next bar we went to?
Yes, Birdies.
And
for anyone who lives in Brisbane, it was Birdies.
And we the incident.
Oh, we brought that up.
We have not brought that up, and I
haven't actually.
Great.
Yeah, actually, I totally forgot about that. All right, we'll bring it up, and I'll give a quick rundown really quickly. So when Oblivion came to Australia, if you guys have been following the podcast, Oblivion came to Australia. It was like one of Oblivion's first nights here, like the first week or something, and Australia was playing England. England was playing someone.
Guys got knocked out early. We were playing South Africa in the rugby finals.
That's right. Yeah, you were playing South Africa in the rugby finals, and I took you to the Pig and Whistle. If anyone knows what the Pig and Whistle is in the valley, which is the Pig and Whistle.
Such an English bar.
Yeah, honestly, it's literally there for like English people. Sports, like soccer is like football is like the biggest thing there. Like any England team playing there, it's like sold out. You can't get in. Like everyone just fucking goes there. So we took you to the Pig and Whistle. We watched this game. Unfortunately, England, didn't do us a solid.
We lost because it was so stupid. It was such a... I hated watching that match because I knew exactly what South Africa were going to do. And I knew Mr. Flack, who's a babe, South African mate, YouTube content creator, he had a tweet ready for me. And I didn't want him to... I knew he would have, mate. He would have had it in his drafts ready to go.
It was on scheduled time, mate. It was ready. It was fucking coming out regardless.
And we bloody lost, and that tweet came out, and I had to just suck it up. And it was shit. But I sucked it up, and that happened. But from then...
After the devastational game that was, I took you to a place, Backpackers, actually. It was a backpacker school, Birdies, here in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. And it's probably one of the biggest backpackers in Brisbane. It's practically like a nightclub slash like a really relaxing, outdoor area where you can sit down on chairs and all kinds of stuff.
Full of slags and blokes wanting to put their piece in something.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just full of massive egos.
Yeah.
Literally
it
that.
was.
So we were just on the dance floor, chilling out, relaxing, dancing, whatever. And, this...
It's been a good while, a couple of hours as well.
Yeah, we're getting pretty hammered by then, obviously, just trying to have a good time and dance around. And we were just minding our own business, really, on the dance floor. We weren't, like, in the middle of the dance floor, like, off to the side a little bit. Like, we were just, just having a good time. Didn't want to, interrupt on anyone else's fun time. But there was this one group of guys that...
I remember it really clearly, because I saw them coming.
Yeah, they decided that they were on more than just alcohol, put it that way. They were like on a whole nother level, and they thought that would be really funny amongst themselves to just go ahead and barge through the crowd of people on the dance floor, physically barge through everyone, knocking everyone and anyone they could in their way to get to the dance floor.
Well, they were coming from the dance floor, so basically where it was, like, they were, like, where the DJ was, you were on the left-hand side, and I was on the right-hand side trying to crack on. And then, like, these two came through, and I remember, because I just, like, watched them come straight through these people, smash into the side. And he, like, came against me, and I was like, bro, like, I grabbed him, but I was pissed off because of the rugby loss. And I was pissed off at these guys. And, like, I'd pissed off these guys, like, coming straight through. So I remember, like, going to shove them, but, like, instead of just, like, the kind of gentle, like, push off, you're in my way, I yeeted this guy, and I remember just shoving him straight back through the line he just created. And then I was like, fuck, I've just done this, dude. Like, this is not going to come off well. And obviously from that moment, it was, they turned around. I don't think they knew who did it, to be honest. I mean, they weren't looking at me by the time they'd been shoved anyways, but they went up to you.
What happened was when I seen you push, I practically shoved this dude because I knew what he had done. Like, he actually knocked over my partner as well. Like, he had knocked over
this dude.
Yeah, he had knocked over my partner and stuff as well. And I was, like, obviously intoxicated at the time, and I was just, like, not having any of it. Like, I was just like, fuck these guys for just trying to, like, we were just minding our own business, and they just decided to come and ruin it. So it was your first night out, and I was like, fuck, I don't really want to go. At first I was like, I don't really want to start a scene. But then when my partner was involved in what had happened, I just kind of I'd kind of lost it at that point. I was like, fuck this. So I remember you shoving this dude, and then as you shoved him, I got right up into his face, and I said to him, I suggest you and your mates both fuck off. And I said, we're minding our own business. And then he grabbed me, and then I grabbed him. We both had each other by the shirt. And I said to him, we were face to face, and I said to him, I suggest you both fuck off because we're trying to have a good time here, and you just fucking come and ruined it. And then he was like, throw the first punch, and then his mate came over and was like in my face, and then they both were in my face, and then I remember looking back, and you like put down your glass, and I was like, at least he has my back. If this is about to go down.
Right in. I was like, right. I stopped when I was cracking on. I said, right, 2 minutes. Put my drink down the side, came right over, and there was you and this geezer ready to punch on. And I was just there like, right, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now because I'm the main person who shoved these guys, but all right, I'm going to see this out.
It was like a whole level of respect for me, but because like it was like our second day of actually officially like meeting each other, and I'm already getting into a punch up. But the best thing for me was like total respect was like, he has my back regardless, which was both
ready to go.
Which was a solid, So it was like, okay, well, whatever's about to happen. So we both end up into this like scuffle with these two dudes. No punches were actually thrown, but it was a lot of verbal fucking abuse back and forth with each other. Giving it to each other, telling each other to fuck off, fucking all this kind of shit. And I just said to him at the end of the day, I said, look, just fucking leave us and the girls alone and go about your day, and I'll fucking leave it alone. And then eventually it all died down. The girls are screaming, telling us not to fucking throw punches and shit. And then eventually it was kind of like a good solid shove between both me and the other guy, pushed each other away, and then it was left. And then I think it was super weird because like later in the night.
It was really odd. No, I thought it was there and then. Like you literally, so I thought you said to the guy, hey, look, you and I both know you want to fucking punch on right now.
That's right, yeah.
You know?
That's right. I did say that.
We want to punch on right now. But, you know, we ain't going to do it because it's too fucking busy and shit. I don't want to make a fucking scene. And I remember something like he said to you, shake my fucking hand. And then you were like, fucking all right then. So you made...
That's right.
You both shook each other's hand. And then I thought matey came in.
I said to him, you and I... Yeah, that's right. We both had each other. And after all of it died down, it was like, I said, you and I both know we could punch on each other right now. And he's like, yeah. And I said, I suggest we fucking don't, because I don't want to fucking ruin everyone's night or your night and get us both kicked out. And he was like, yeah. And then he's like, shake my fucking hand then. And I was like, yeah. And we shook each other's hand, and that was it. And it was super weird. Like, it was like it died down. And his mate thought that we were still trying to punch on with each other. So
yeah, and he came right in.
So after me and him had shaken hands and left, his mate then comes over, going off. And then it was like, what the fuck is that? Did you even hear the conversation? And then... Eventually it was like,
mate.
Yeah, and then eventually it was like, mate, it's all sorted. Fuck off. Leave it alone. You were ready to go. Yeah. You were fucking next to me.
I was just like, I'm ready, mate. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed off. I was trying to crack on someone. I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go in right now. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but here we go.
Yeah, it was a strange situation. It was, at least it died down, but it was like the first night you came out, and I was like, fuck, now you think I'm some type of dude who just wants to punch on with everyone. And then I think it was like an hour later after that incident, we sat outside, and that same guy came over and started talking to us and like acted like we were mates. I'm like, bro, you always fucking made us punch on the fucking dance floor, and now you want to be mates.
That's the most bloke thing ever. You know what? I've got into arguments, and I think most people have done it, where they're like arguments online or whatever, like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, blah, blah, blah. And then someone's gone, yeah, fuck it, whatever, you know. Hope you have a good one. It's like, yeah, fuck you as well. Have a good night as well. You know? Like, I love those kind of things. Like, when people just kind of go, you know what, fuck it. Like, we're just being dickheads right now. Yeah. You know? And I think they felt that as well.
I said to him, I was like, I know you're just trying to have some fun, but you've gone too far here. Like, that was pretty much the situation. Like, I know you're trying to have some fun, but you're just barging through a crowd of people for no fucking reason. Like, pull your fucking head in. That was pretty much the conversation. He was like, yeah, okay. Like,
and that was a good night from then on. It was really good.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
And that was
it was actually really good. Yeah, it was. Was a solid.
I enjoyed that.
Let's talk about Logan Paul. Have you seen, mate? I'm not sure if anyone. I know this may seem really out of what we're just about punching on, and then Logan Paul.
Well, he's a boxer, so let's go with that.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with boxing this time. Logan Paul's actually done a fucking solid.
It is something to do with boxing because he's unboxing Pokemon cards.
I like the pun. I really do. I give it a fucking solid 9 out of 10.
Oh, it's amazing, man. We've been I remember this shit popping up over the course of a while now, to be honest. So long story short, Pokemon is more than Bitcoin. If you've got Pokemon cards in good condition, it is worth a lot of money. So I remember a while ago, TGF, Jay from TGF purchased one of these boxes, first edition Pokemon boxes for a large amount of money, 20 grand. And people are like, you're fucking nuts. But then Logan Paul goes and pays for one and ups him by going $200,000. What?
I think it was $165,000, but then you got a buyer's premium or something. I remember hearing on the podcast they were talking about. And it was $50,000 for buyer's premium, which means I'm not sure exactly what that gives you. I think it gives you I have no idea what buyer's
premium. Big dent in your wallet.
Fucking hell. But I think the total price of the first edition Pokemon box was $215,000 that he won at an auction. And then obviously what he'd done with that box was he decided to auction off the individual packs inside the box.
Do you know how much they were going for each? What is auctioning at? 10 grand?
I think it was $8,000 to $10,000 per one. I think.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was enough to make back the box. But then what he done was he obviously had a fundraiser for mental health, which is a fucking solid. He didn't even have to do that, but he did. So he live streamed the unboxing, which had almost 300,000 people watching live, which is fucking mental. And then raised raised $130,000 USD. which is fucking
That's
crazy amount of money. In a space of like 3 hours, I think the live stream went for roughly about 3 hours. They unboxed the Charizard, which I think what really boosted the fundraiser. So Logan Paul at the start of the fundraiser said, like, if we unbox the Charizard, or like a holo Charizard, everyone who's watching the live stream,
one, like the shiny ones.
yeah, will have to pay $2. Everyone who's watching pays $2 towards the fundraiser.
Yeah.
When they unboxed it, that card, it was a PSA 9, I believe it was. They had an expert there to really give a good grading on them. It was a PSA 9, and he said the value of that Charizard card was $60,000 to $80,000 USD for one
crazy,
fucking
man.
card. But a PSA 10 Charizard is worth $200K. That's fucking
PSAs
mental.
are mental, though. I think, like, most people have probably looked at PSAs and stuff. So PSA is basically, like, I think it's, like, a professional grading system for cards. But, like, the difference between, like, a very, very, very good card and an excellent and a mint card is so tiny. But it's crazy. Like, I was looking at one just then.
What's the difference between
grading
excellent
cards,
and mint? Just to clarify that, you said that there's between mint and excellent. Which one's better, excellent or mint? I would think mint would become before excellent.
Mint
is that
is
like
better.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this grading system here from PSA cards for like baseball cards.
Yeah.
So it goes gem mint. So this is going from best to weak. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Gem mint, mint, near mint, near mint, excellent mint, excellent. So there's like 6 stages between excellent, and excellent is,
God
it says
forbid,
on here.
God forbid you ever put the wrong mint in the wrong way when you're fucking uploading it, because you fucking end up selling it for less.
It goes this. This is a PSA 5, which is excellent. I'm going to say it's PSA 5. I don't know if it's the actual grading, but it says PSA X5 cards. It says very minor rounding on the corners is becoming evident. Surface wear or printing defects more visible. There may be minor chipping on the edges. So very, very small things. And it says things centering must be 85-15 or better on the front and a 90-10 on the back or better. Like, insane grading for it, you know? And then there's 6 more things in between. You know, there's like the perfect 10 is attributes include 4 perfectly sharp corners, sharp focus and full original gloss. Card must be free of staining of any kind, but an allowance may be for a slight printing imperfection. Like, there's so many things for grading. Like, when I saw him, because I saw the clip just before we did the podcast.
Yeah.
I saw him touch the actual holographic, and I just kind of went, that's almost like $5,000 automatically taken off, because the sweat or something on his hand could possibly go into the print.
I was saying that they should wear gloves or something. Like, I was saying there's like those certain gloves that people do when they come to unboxing stuff. Like, they're like the white tip gloves or whatever. Don't leave fingerprints or oily marks on it or anything like that. And I was wondering why he didn't do that.
He disclosed that before, and he said it's because my fingers are more tender and more nimble, so that I'm not. I think it's because he doesn't want to put extra pressure on the card when he's pulling it, you know, or maybe he's like putting pressure on it to take them from each other. But with like his natural touch and stuff, it can be so light that he can, you know, really kind of do it nicely. So I understand that, because he did like disclose that right at the very beginning. But man, that's crazy.
Touching the face, like, you shouldn't be touching the actual picture itself with your fingertips. Like that. I remember when he did it, he like grabs, I think he grabs the top of it. So he like grabs the top of it to try and readjust his fingers. And he like puts his thumb like right on the card, like on the actual picture. I was like, oh. Right now your thumbprint's going to be on that card. It's worth just degrading like a couple $1,000. The person watching it's probably thinking, you just stitched me up, mate. Like, you just fucking
like,
lost me $5,000. But man, cards like have blown up. Like, I think the market now for Pokemon cards, like, it was already massive, but I think with this influx of like, obviously people watching back Pokemon, because Pokemon's been around for so many years. Like, it was a big thing for me growing up. I love Pokemon.
It's the biggest franchise.
It is the biggest franchise, and I think with this publicity that it's had with Logan Paul, I think it's only going to get bigger now. So anyone who has cards or whatever, it's just people going to be like, you know, I want to get into it now. I want to start buying cards. But I think a lot of cards that are like, obviously less of value, like not like the $80,000 ones, but the couple $100 ones might start getting sold more. You know, so this is a big thing for the market right now. If you had Pokemon cards, this is a big fucking chance to start selling your cards for more, or, you know, buying cards or anything like that, because there's going to be a massive influx of people buying them now.
I think there's no reason to sell at all right now. Him opening that one box has automatically made everyone who owns a first edition even more rich, because that's one more out of the equation. Yeah. You know? That's one whole thing gone.
I think I seen a tweet.
I would be super interested to see like how much you can sell that box and the cards, like the card packet's worth. Because he said apparently just one of those packet sleeves is worth $100 opened.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's crazy to think like that's already $100.
I seen a tweet that someone said that the unboxing that he did, the value of all the cards, so like across all the cards that were given out, it broke history in the most valued of cards in one box ever. So
that's pretty crazy.
So yeah, so across all the cards that were opened up, the total value of all that was the biggest in history that anyone had ever unboxed from a first edition, and it was live on stream. Like that's nuts. Crazy. Yeah, I think Mr. Beast bought 2 packs. He got a holographic Blastoise, which is pretty cool. I think they tweeted out about that as well.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool to see, like, obviously a whole bunch of, like, Pokemon collectors were buying packs. And, I mean, they did it pretty well. The only problem I had with the live stream, I think, was audio issues. I think...
Oh, mate, the audio.
Fucking hell,
was
man.
Horrific.
I'm like,
I felt bad about my content.
$300,000 and you can't get a fucking microphone to work. Like, you got 300,000 people watching and you've got a microphone that the fucking producer has at the back room. I'm like, come on,
Did you not hear the one that sounded like the anus fucking mic? Like, they literally, it was as if like they just switched to it and the gain of it was massive. It was like ASMR Central.
Mate,
but like ASMR done on a $5 budget.
Get rid of him.
It was rank.
You have the fucking audio guys. Get rid of him. They were like having, it was super weird because they were like, it sounded like they were using camera mics for like the wider shots.
Yeah.
And like when they would zoom out, it would change the audio. So they weren't using the audio from the microphones in the different scenes. They were just literally using the camera per scene. And it was like echoey. It sounded shit. I was like, man. I think Logan Paul did actually a podcast with Casey Neistat a couple of, maybe like a month back maybe. And the audio for that podcast that they uploaded is horrific. I think like Casey Neistat's mic's not even working. It didn't even work. They couldn't hear each other for the whole podcast. And I don't think they worked it out until halfway through the podcast. And then they still uploaded the video and it's like it sounds like you're hearing them through a microphone that's on the other side of the room. And it literally and that was the whole podcast. And I was like, fuck, whoever your audio guy is needs to be fucking fired. Like that's horrendous.
Double check we're recording. Double check we're recording.
Like you would think you'd think you'd have it all set up, but like and then the same thing happened with the live stream. Like they just couldn't get the audio right. They had it on, a lot of it was on stereo, so not mono.
It's
so
really
if anyone knows what stereo mono is, if I talk to the left hand side of the microphone, you'll hear it for the left earpiece. If I talk to the right, that kind of stuff. You'll hear it like it sounds like it's like you're in the room with them. When it comes to stuff like that, you don't want. It's like singing. You don't want to have it dip out left to right speakers or whatever. You want to have mono, which means it's just the same sound coming out of both speakers, at the same volume. And that's probably the best way to do those kind of live streams. But they had it like that. So at one point, I think Logan was like talking about the card away from the
really
mic,
bad.
and you could only hear it through like one microphone, like one earphone. It was like super soft, and it was like
whose microphone would have been really good to have not have been on? Would have been Mike's. Holy fuck. I could tell Logan was kind of like, bro, Mike, I know you don't know anything about Pokemon right now, but give me some energy, bro. Like, give me something here.
Mike should not have been there. In my opinion, Mike should not have been there. Honestly.
Nah, he was, if he was there, he should have done us. I felt he would have been more professional and been like, hey, like, I'm going to try and, like, get involved with this. Because, like, they pulled, like, a dugong, and he's like, oh my god, dugong. And then Mike's like, a dugong, yeah. And it was like, shit, Mike, like, people are watching this and they are well into this.
He was he was roasting the crap out of all the Pokemon. Yeah, so I think even Logan at one point turned around and said, sorry, a postman just rocked up to my house and like looked into my window and see me standing here with the fucking but yeah, Logan even said to him, like, bro, you need to, like, show some energy or, like, stop talking shit about Pokemon. Like, it's, like, the biggest scene for Pokemon right now, and you're sitting there bagging it out in front of, like, 300,000 people. Like, bro, just give it 3 hours of just not talking shit about Pokemon and just let everyone enjoy it. Like, you're sitting there just trashing it the whole time.
Like, if I was there, I'd have been like, like, why is this one really good? Or like just trying to put some input to it. You know, like what a girlfriend does when you're playing the game. She's like, how's it going and stuff. She don't know. She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, she's going to show some energy. And I was just kind of like, Mike, come on, bro. Like, you can't do this for every single one. Because like Logan's there like, boom, we've got this. And then Mike's like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, like, this is a big ass moment. This is a huge moment for a lot of people, because do you remember ever buying Pokemon cards? Did you ever actually get into that when you were younger?
I loved Pokemon growing up. I loved because obviously, well, I'm almost 27, so growing up around my teenage years, like younger, 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, the Game Boy was like the biggest thing. Game Boy, loved that shit, loved Pokemon. I would play the shit out of it.
Are you a Pokemon Blue or Red though?
I think it was Red. I think most people, literally, I would say this off the top of my head, 70 to 80 people, 80% of people probably chose Red. Mainly because Charizard, I reckon 70 to 80% of people liked Red over Blue. I'm going to say it because Charizard is probably the most iconic Pokemon that Ash ever had. Besides Pikachu.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say that. I think I just went for Blue because...
You liked Blue.
That's what I do, But my brother also had it. I remember my brother getting it from the first time. He bought it at the airport. I don't know why he bought it from the airport. I could never make that. Like, I could never understand why. Like, because they never went on flights. I was at school and they picked me up. I'm like, oh yeah, we picked up.
Your brother's been secretly traveling without you, like your whole family. Like they just drop you off at school for a day and they just fuck off to like a different state. They come back and pick you up.
Dude was like 10. I was like, where are you going, mate? Like getting these things. But there was like so much nostalgia in it. I remember like very first watching Pokemon happen, and that was a big moment. Like that was a big moment when you were a kid. But like I can remember stuff like going and buying the packs and stuff, and I used to want those things. Man, like I can just remember it, and it's just like, shit, I missed out on a lot of money. Like I'm looking at my dad sometimes being like, I want to say to my dad like, hey, like when I was 6, do you ever remember like not giving me a birthday present or something that you might have like in the back room or something like that? Do you remember burying some of these cards or something? Because we had loads. I'm almost like tempted to text my brother because my brother's massive into collecting cards. Like he collects Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He was big in Pokemon and stuff. Like he loved it. I'm almost looking at that dude like, hey, when you get dicey, I'll get some of that Pokemon cards in the wheel, But it's just like
it'd probably be worth that more than the money.
Yeah, man, like that'd be crazy, man. To think that it's just worth that much.
I was a massive Digimon fan though, growing up. All those like type of games. Digimon was my favorite. We played Digimon actually a lot when you were here. We played
the emulator of Digimon World.
So the emulator, yeah, for the PlayStation 1 emulator for Digimon World.
So that game was like, I always felt like that game was longer when we were younger. Basically, what it is, you start off with this little crap Pokemon. You hopefully don't turn it into this piece of shit.
Digimon.
That's it, yeah, Digimon. You hopefully don't turn it into this crap piece of shit, which Geee would always get on this game.
Always get
and then
actual
you evolve
turd.
it.
The actual turd.
You would evolve it, and then it would be like this great thing that you go and do more things with. And you basically ended up stop playing the game because you couldn't progress anything further than Slime Boy.
Yeah, I got Slime Boy or actual Shit Boy like every time.
Yeah.
I think I played this game for 3 days. And like actual 3 days, and I think I didn't get anything else by him. And I think I said to you, I even said to you,
cracked copy.
Yeah, I even said to you, if I get it again, I'm quitting. And I quit the game. I literally got it again. I quit the game. And that was the last time we played it when you were here. But I mean, those type of games, man, it just brings back so many good memories. Like I think a lot of people who watched that live stream were just like reminiscing about the times. Like I was watching, I was like, this is just cool to watch, man. I remember these cards. I remember these characters. I remember that. But having Mike on the show, man, it was just a fucking, just like, shut up.
I like Mike,
get the fuck off. Person. Get out of here.
Yeah.
This isn't your area, obviously. Get
an expert in.
Yeah, get the expert on there to talk about it. Like, this is really good. Yeah. The crisp, and that's a good color. That's worth this much. Like, having his input, like, every time a card's drawn, that's worth about $33,000, $4,000. That's a solid. That's a good looking one. That's probably a PSA 9 every time a good card comes out. Like, he's there ready to go talking about it. Obviously, give Logan the lead, talk about it. But having Mike on there who has no fucking idea about Pokemon, just degrading the entire thing, was just it was like an up and down roller coaster of the whole thing. Like you're watching it, pulls out a massive card, you're like cheering, like celebrating, like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's sick. And then it's like, Mike's like, oh, what's that thing called again? Like a dragon? Is that a dragon? It's like, no, it's Charizard, you dickhead. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
Get your
like
shit together.
I like Mike. Don't get me wrong. Like I think Mike does a good job and stuff. But I was just kind of like, yeah, like if I would have seen it, like I would have liked kind of the enthusiasm of Logan being like, oh my god, this is amazing, with the unknown like works about of it, and then like a professional next to him being like, yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
Because the professional's seen all of them. He's seen PSA 10s, Charizards, everything. Like he's seen them all, so he can be there to be like, oh my god, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
And then Logan can use his personality to be like, boom, this is really good. This is worth a lot of money.
Yeah. I think that would have been better.
I think it was good.
Overall, I think it was really good. I think that what he did with the cards and what he did like for the fundraiser and just, it was just fun for people to watch. I think that was really cool. I think nowadays everyone's out there making content for themselves, and I know that Logan Paul probably made the content for himself, and he spent a lot of money to do that. But I also think he put a lot of thought into it. I think having the professional there and the live stream and stuff, I think there was a lot of thought going into it. The fact that it was on Mental Health Week was really solid because everyone's obviously reminiscing about their past, and it was just a solid time to watch. Like I sat there and watched the whole thing, and it was just fun. So hats off to Logan. I think he's doing a lot of things, a lot of great things these days. Personally, I think from where he's come over the last 5 years,
changed.
I think he's changed a lot, and I think people got to give him credit where credit's due. I think Logan has developed into a solid personality now. I think, a lot of people, I never used to follow him. I hated his whole, the younger crew and how he was trying to, adapt to them. But I think now that he's matured a lot, even his stuff with KSI has like died down, and he's actually supporting KSI and a lot of things that he does. I think it shows a lot of maturity in the YouTube scene and what he's done as a creator. And I think he's just continued to create fun, enjoyable things of all ages. I think that's fucking solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can never put someone down to like one bad moment, because like obviously people always go, back to the forest moment, but like on an actual kind of like, I would say a factual kind of like point, what he did then was so beneficial for a lot of people because everyone started talking about it. Like this is the way I saw it. I always like look into things way more than it should and break it down, but like. Let's have a look at the Australian like wildfires. It was big. There was a lot to that. There was a lot going on. But I don't think it would have got much exposure if they didn't have that one video of that koala like being burnt. Yeah. Because that, I felt that like touched a lot of people's hearts. And you can see that through adverts. Like a lot of adverts, like with animal cruelty and stuff, they always show it in a really bad light to get your emotions going. If someone told you, hey, like there's koalas burning, do you want to give us some money? People might be like, maybe not. But if they actually see it happening, they go, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I think that happened with Logan. Like Logan took a massive bullet, and in doing so, making that video and stuff, like really probably saved a lot of people. I don't think he encouraged a lot through it. I think he really showed people the reality of stuff, and people kind of went, hold the fuck up, this is serious. Yeah. Because it is, there's a lot of seriousness to it. But
I actually, speaking of like mental health, I actually seen someone, I was driving to work over the weekend, and there's a bridge that's known for people to that use that bridge. It's on the highway. Yeah. So it's on a highway and stuff. And as I was driving under the bridge on the highway going over it, I have to come back onto the bridge to go to work. So I could see a whole bunch of like ambulances and fire, like police up there. And I knew that like, it's a hot spot for people to hit a really dark point, in so to speak, like be in a really dark place. So I came back around. I could see that, luckily no one had been injured or anything like that. And there was a lot of people crying and obviously talking to the police and stuff. And you could see that something had unfolded there. And it made me really think like, mental health is a huge issue. And to see that, people are still out there trying to better what this year's become. For Australians, at the start of the year, we had bushfires. Then we had, coronavirus. We had floods. So it's been affecting us like bad here. And to see, people, creators out there still trying their best, using their money and their influence to just bring a smile to people's faces and to bring light to such a really tough time. Because I was saying before about like my present I was in a really dark place mentally, and my brothers helped me out, and that's why I bought the gift. Like mental health is a huge thing. I don't want to bring like a sad side to the end of the podcast, but I think people need to know. I think people, there are things out there that people can do to help. If you are seeking mental health, or just talk to someone. I think the biggest thing for me was just being able to open up to a mate, anyone, your parents.
I think
or whatever.
Do something different. Like I'll speak to content creators out there that I know probably listen to this. Like I went through a real dark stage not too long ago, and it was like really, really shit. And I was like doing stuff like deleting a lot of stuff off my Twitter, deleted a lot of stuff off my server, deleted loads of things. I was going through a lot of shit. Yeah. But like this is why like things like this, what we're doing, is why we're trying to do it, because this is so much more beneficial. Like people, like as a content creator, they should never feel the stress of trying to make content. You know, because I had that shit. That's crap. You know, you try and force stuff out, and you can do it. You can force it out there, but you're only going to depreciate. Sometimes it's best take a month off, take a week off, take days, hours, take however long you need off to get your head sorted. Because like your content will be better in that forecast, anyways. Sure, like figures and numbers matter and stuff to your own head, but they don't. I don't check figures or numbers or whatever. I just do it. You know, I don't do the whole YouTube thing of like, this video is doing better than this, or this video is doing better than that. I just say to myself, am I making good content? Yes, I'm going to let it do it, you know? But as content creators, I know a lot of content creators that are going out, they're going through tough times, and we're trying to do things with them. Like with this podcast, me and you get to talk, which is awesome, and we get to actually break things down. But we've said to other content creators, hey, like, come and play games with us. Let's try and do these things. And I know people are going through stuff, and it's very hard to try and make time for, you know, playing games casually, but you just got to remember, like, fuck it, like, you can just come back to doing it at some point. Your channel will never depreciate, you know? The only thing I'd always say is never leave your channel on a bad video, you know? Make a good video, put a lot of effort into it, and then say, right, that's my last one for a while. I'm going to work hard on myself, you know? Because you don't deserve to be left on a bad video. Don't read the comments as well. Like, fuck that. I don't read comments. Like, I read the comments for the first couple of hours, but they get to you. You know, people big you up. I've seen people big up people, and it's just like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You know, you want people to like enjoy your videos. And if people don't enjoy their videos, they're not going to. People won't. Not everyone's going to like it. Go and watch your favorite content creators. See them have 0 dislikes. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta embrace it. But the biggest thing is not sitting in that pity and wallow. You've got to find a way around it. Go to the gym. Find something to do.
Pull yourself out of it. You just got to literally pull yourself out of it. You know, you got to sit there and think, you know, what's making me unhappy? You know, sit there for a minute. Like, take like an hour out of your day. Honestly, just to fucking sit there and say to yourself, like, that was the biggest thing for me when I took my break for like a year. I was like, you know, I was like, what am I doing? You know, and then I said, I want to step back. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I work out a plan. And it made me, every day I woke up, I had a plan. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the gym. Even though I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm going to fucking go to the gym. I'm going to force myself to go there. Or I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do something else. And it was like, the next day I became more motivated to do something else. More motivated to go to the gym again. Felt more healthier. Felt more like I was eating more. I was, you know, drinking less soft drink or something. You know, drinking more water. I felt more energized. More energy to make videos and stuff. And then it shows. They're like, okay, I'm feeling good now. Now you got like another direction that you can head and not go down this dark path of continually making videos, not doing anything about yourself. And, you know, you have this now plan, go to the gym first, go do this. And then once you've done all that stuff, then go sit down for a couple of hours and pump out some videos. Because then you feel like you've done something for the day. I think the biggest thing for me was not doing anything, doing videos, and then feeling like, fuck, to do anything else. And then you just like, I've done nothing today besides edit. And that was the worst part for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, never just force yourself to make a video because you feel like you have to do it. You know, I've turned down big advertisements because I'm just not going to do it, you know? And that's just purely because, like, you just go, right, I owe it to myself to give myself that headspace, you know, to go and do that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and also see people. Like, being a content creator is the most loneliest shit. You know, my best mates.
Lonely world.
My best mates are in Australia, in bloody Europe, in America. I ain't got anyone close that I can go and see. You know, not many people, you know, and that sucks a lot of dick because a lot of things I'd like to do. So you got to try and do more. And the hardest thing for me is like, I can't just go and join a club or something because ain't nothing happening unless there's actually doing something to help protect yourselves. But it's crazy, man. Mental health is huge, you know, and I don't think mental health is something we can just like let go by, because a lot of people are really into it now. You know, I really see a lot of people trying to get things sorted with it. But you gotta owe it to yourself. You gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta see people about it. And I think the more people that talk about it, like as they say, like you talk about it, more people are more welcoming to it. You know,
no one's
like
gonna judge
I feel
you.
like I'm more open about it.
Yeah, no one's gonna judge you.
No one's going to judge, because the people who do judge don't care. But you're never going to find that. Like, if you openly say to someone, hey, I'm having a really hard time right now, they'll more than likely be okay. Let's talk about it. You know, I've had it with people before. I've been like, hey, let's just talk about it. You know, I might not be the perfect person for it. I had therapy and stuff and counseling to like help me get through bad times. And you know, at the end of it, I just said to her, like, hey, like, I'm literally just speaking out loud my thoughts, and it's helping a lot, because she wasn't putting any input. I feel like people you talk to don't provide input. They're just basically being a mirror for you, you know? Like, I basically said to her at one stage, hey, I don't need counseling anymore. I'm just lonely. Yeah. You know, I need mates.
One of the biggest things for me, I think, with coronavirus was like, when you're saying like you just see mates or people to talk to, one of the biggest things I did, I changed from what I did before coronavirus was more webcams. You love webcams. I do
out everything.
because it helps me visually be able to talk to friends. Like, I use webcam now on Discord every time I make a call. Almost every time.
Yeah, you do.
It's not because
sometimes regrettably.
Yeah, I'll be shirtless on the couch, whatever, but I use webcam because it brings them more than just having a chat, talking, whatever. It's a more visual thing. Have a laugh. What are you wearing? Like, you look like a dickhead today, you know, and you just laugh about, I fucking haven't slept for 3 days.
Do me an hour into the podcast, I look like a dickhead. Just got the sleeves on, bro. You got to do me like that.
I don't just do it with you, Oblivion. Like, we do, every time we talk, it's always webcam. Yeah. I always put a webcam on or something. But I think for people watching, if you're just feeling like you don't have anyone to talk to or anything, and you call people on Discord, turn webcam on. Have a chat to your mates. Or if you've never seen it, like, I think the biggest one was like me and Anado. When we had a chat to Anado, no one's ever seen Anado. And I said, you know what? One day I'm going to put webcam on. I put webcam on, and then Anado turned his webcam on. And it was nice to see. You know,
massive arms.
Massive arms. He's a big boy, man. Fuck, he's a big boy. He's massive.
Right. He had to have that webcam back in the distance. Hey, that man is hunch.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
On one side of the wall, and the webcam couldn't still fit him in.
You know. I don't know how he holds his PC at the same time as plays, but there we go. You know, the man's a unit.
Yeah, but I think that's like just doing little things like that to just change up your normal day. You know, webcam or just going for a walk or something like that. It just spices things up a bit. And that's why I think that to me just brings a whole like level of it brings a smile to your face, really. When you see your friends talking and laughing and stuff like that, it just brings more than just having a phone call. You know, that's how I see it anyway. But we will probably try and wrap up this video. It's been going for a bit now, almost an hour and 20 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the podcast, if you guys are listening on Spotify and stuff. And like I said, if you guys do, you know, have mental problems and stuff, just talk to people. Just talk to people, man.
Also, we want to get people on the podcast. Yes. So we need you guys to follow our Twitter. Our Twitter is in the description. It will be the top pinned comment that Gee's going to do because I'm too lazy.
At the DownUnder Show. On Twitter.
And what we want to do is we want to get content creators on, but we haven't had content creators yet. We've had people want to, but we haven't had it yet, purely because I want to allow everyone the respect of being able to ask questions from their community and us to ask them questions. So post questions there. We'll let you guys know in advance when someone's coming on. So post any comment you want and we'll bring it up to them. We'll force it out of them.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll ask the questions that no one else has asked. We'll ask them the hard questions. So don't be afraid to ask. The hard questions are the best questions.
That's it. That's what we want to hear. If what's not their favorite type of chocolate? I want to know what they do, you know, on a naughty weekend in Amsterdam, you know. I want to see what they get up to.
What they really use that webcam for, you know what I mean?
That's it. We got the tape measure out and everything.
If you guys want to keep up to date with that, that is the @DownUnder Show on Twitter. It'll be down in the description below, and also our social media pages will be down there as well. Oblivion, @Oblivion across all social media, YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. You have all those, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the actual Oblivion one. There is a bloke who's called Oblivion, which I feel like is the most epic name to have. I think his name's like For Oblivion or something, which is just like, all right, this is like an Avenger. I'm gonna let him just do his thing. But yeah.
And then you've got obviously my social media pages, which is TheBigGeee AUS, which is Australia, on Twitter, and across TheBigGeee across Twitch and YouTube, which I don't use Twitch much, but that is our social, guys. Thank you for watching episode 4. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to slap a like, comment down below who you guys would like to see on the podcast, maybe in the comments down below. I'd like to see what you guys' thoughts are and who you think might be interested in jumping on the podcast.
And have a fucking good day.
Yes,
I'm going to bed.
Enjoy your day. All right, guys, take care.
Later, guys. Have a good one.